High school football is back on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Tonight from Warriorton, Indiana, Week 9 Hoosier Heritage Conference football as the New Palestine Dragons meet the Delta Eagles. Good evening. Hi again, everyone. Brian Beaver along with you again tonight as we hit the final marker in the regular season. It does not seem possible, but it is. 8 weeks down, at least 2 more weeks to go, with the sectional beckoning a week from tonight. This is a classic matchup of David and Goliath. New Palestine, the number 1 team in the state in 5A in the AP poll, number 2 in the coaches poll. Kyle Ralph has built a juggernaut of a program. They're 8-0 this year overall, 6-0 in the league, 5 straight league titles, 44 straight regular season wins. Their last regular season loss was 5 years ago last night to Mount Vernon. And ironically, that season, they lost the final game of the regular season to Mount Vernon and lost the sectional game the next week to Mount Vernon. They haven't lost in the league or in the regular season since then. So they've won a state championship during Coach Ralph's era in 2014. They won the 4A title. They're up to 5A now, and they are an armload full for anybody who lines up across the field from them. Delta is off to a 5-3 overall record, 3-3 in the league. Chris Overholt's team will try to, of course, win this game, but also try to continue playing well, build momentum for next week's sectional opener, and try to get out of here relatively well, healthy, and ready to go next week. It'll be Marion here a week from tonight in the first round of the sectional. And welcome to 2017, a coach taking a selfie with his offense during the pregame warm-up. You gotta love technology. So this is an interesting matchup for another reason. We have 2 of the top 6 rushers in Indiana in this game tonight. You talk about big number 1, well, that's 32 in your program, and the best player on the roster on the Delta side, Charlie Spiegel, leading the state in rushing, comes in with 2,070 yards. He's averaging 8 yards a carry. All he's done is run for 29 touchdowns this season. He's a touchdown away from tying his big brother's single-season record of 30 rushing touchdowns and 2 away from breaking it. And he is over 4,000 yards for a career already in less than 2 full seasons. And he is less than 360 yards away from Zach Mills' single-season rushing record of 24-24. That's only a 2-year-old record, and it might go down here in 2017. Charlie's got at least 2 more games to play, and if you get hot in the tournament, you get a 3rd game, he's probably going to get that record before the season is over. So it'll be interesting to see what he does tonight. Last year in this matchup, New Pal easily beat Delta. The final score that night was 56-15. Charlie Spiegel ran for 190 yards in that loss to New Pal a year ago and got a touchdown on that night as a freshman. So he's put up pretty good numbers against some pretty good teams. And it's going to be fun to see what he can do here tonight against what they call the Red Rage defense from New Palestine. The Dragons are every bit as good as you'd imagine number 1 is. And they have their own star running back, Luke Canfield, who comes in at just 185 in carries, 1342 in yardage. He's number 6 in the state right now, averaging 7.3 and 26 touchdowns for Mr. Canfield. So you're going to hear a couple names often tonight for New Pal. You're going to hear Zach Neely, their quarterback, and you'll hear Luke Canfield, the running back, who will get a lot of touches. Those 2 guys, Neely and Canfield, account for 91% of the total offense this season for the New Pal Dragons. So they're going to get their hands on the ball a lot, and they're capable of doing a lot with it every time they touch it. Another thing about this game is the youth of these 2 teams. Both of these teams are full of underclassmen offensive skill players. So these teams, as good as they are now, could be even better in 2018. So take heart, fans. If you like running football, rushing, you're going to like this game tonight because there's going to be a lot of outstanding offense on the ground by both of these teams. Mentioned that next week is the start of the state tournament. Delta will be home in week 1. They will host Marion from the North Central Conference just up the road. Marion's having a good year. That'll be a good game. And Yorktown will be at home as well next week as they open the sectional. They'll be at home hosting Western in a game that most fans and observers think is winnable for Yorktown. So it'll be interesting to see how the Tigers finish out the regular season and roll into the state tournament in 2017. Going to be a lot of fun. This one should be good. We have a great night for football weather-wise. We have an overcast sky, no threat of any rain, no threat of any lightning, almost no wind at the stadium here tonight with the artificial turf looking fantastic down there. It is senior night tonight for Delta's kids, so they have something else to play for as well when you talk about motivation, but there's no bigger motivator than trying to beat the team no one in your league has beaten in a long time on your senior night at home when they're ranked #1 and you have the best rusher in the state. It's a great matchup on paper. We'll see how it pans out on the turf. We'll take our first break. When we come back, the starting lineups, the opening kickoff of this one after this on the Delco Preps channel. Don't go away.
From Jamestown to Jonesville, from North Salem to South Milford, from River Forest to Grass Creek. No matter where you live in Indiana, you can enjoy high school sports coverage at its very best on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. It's 35 powerhouse radio stations, Fox Sports Indiana, and the World Wide Web, combining their vast resources to blanket the state, the Midwest, and the world with the purest, most riveting presentation of high school sports in America. From Anderson to Attica, Kendallville to Kokomo, follow the high school sports that make our state great all season long. Thank you, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, and welcome home.
Hey, honey, is this your course schedule for the fall?
Yep.
Let me see here. English, good. Chemistry, trigonometry, excellent. World history, I love world history. Baseball? Wait, baseball? Baseball isn't a course, honey.
Well, sure it is, Mom. High school sports are about so much more than winning and losing. They teach lessons that can't be taught in a classroom, like accountability and self-discipline, the value of teamwork. I may not be earning a grade, but I'm learning how to compete later in life. Isn't that what getting a good education is all about?
Yes, of course it is. I was just testing you.
What can teenagers here in Indiana learn from participating in high school sports? Plenty, as it turns out. That's why they're called education-based athletics.
High school sports. There's so much more than just a game.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the stadium here in Royerton. We're just a couple minutes away from the start of this final regular season game tonight here in Delaware County. It's a great night to play football. A little breeze kicking up now on that big American flag on the south end zone here. And the Delta Eagles about to take the field through the inflatable helmet out here on the north side of the stadium. Brian Beaver along with you. Thanks for joining me tonight. Appreciate you loaning me your ears for a while. This is going to be a lot of fun. 8-0 New Pal, 5-3 Delta. Should be an interesting contest. The one game this year that New Pal really had a contest was their opener. They played Whiteland and only won 19-8. That night, Whiteland ran more plays from scrimmage on offense than New Pal did, which is a rarity in itself. You hear the crowd going crazy here at the stadium as we get ready for kickoff. Delta takes the field. Here comes New Pal as well. We're about set for some football. Kyle Ralph is in his 5th year at New Pal. He's 58-3 in the better part of 5 seasons, a state championship in 14. They have 9 sectional titles in program history, the most recent 2 years ago in 2015. You talk about what Chris Overholt has done here in his 2nd year at Delta. Well, he's done a pretty good job. Won a sectional as a rookie a year ago. They're trying to become the first Delta program in a half century to win 3 sectionals in a row. They won in 15 and 16. 17 would give them the trifecta for the first time in their program's history. Brian Beaver with you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Come on back every week. We'll have sectional football for you next week. We're not sure which game yet. That's yet to be determined, but it'll be a good one no matter how we slice it. Mentioned that a year ago this game went New Pal's way easily, 56-15. The captains from both teams have now made their way to midfield. We're just a short moment away from the coin toss reenactment and getting this one underway. Weather should not be a factor whatsoever tonight. It's a beautiful early fall evening to play football. Here's the toss and the indication. New Palestine has won the toss. The Dragons are going to take the ball to open the night. That means Delta will be tested right from the get-go in this one. Delta wearing the home dark blue uniforms with white lettering and gold trim, blue helmets as well. New Pal in the road unis, white uniforms, red lettering, red accents, white helmets with the red dragon head on the side. So we'll get our first look. New Pal quarterback Zach Neely, and at his top running back, Luke Canfield, right off the top here. Officials will take their positions, and we're just about set to go. Reminder that we will have volleyball tomorrow, 4A Sectional 6 Championship Volleyball from Yorktown High School. I'll have it for you tomorrow night with a 6:50 pregame and a 7 o'clock first serve. And that could be an all-Delaware County final if Muncie Central and Yorktown can take care of business earlier in the day, but a lot of volleyball yet to be played before we get around to any of that. So join us for that tomorrow night right here on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. We're not set to go. Delta will kick it away, and it'll be Zach Stanley to kick the ball off right from the X in the middle of the field on the 40. Robinson, the deep man, for New Pal, and the kick will come down the near sideline. It'll be picked up on the ground at around the 13-yard line. Taking it far side, it's Jenkins rather, and Jenkins trying to turn the corner and can't do it. He's hauled down on a nice open field tackle by Cameron Levers at the 14-yard line. So the Dragons will start the night with field position that is less than ideal. Here's how they'll line them up. At quarterback, junior Zach Neely. Running back is Luke Canfield. He's only a sophomore. The receivers are Maxon Hook, Jackson Maines, Colby Jenkins, and J.T. Hoffman. The linemen are Kyle King, Jacob Britson, Will Olive, Noah Mack, and Austin Keel. From the pistol on 1st and 10, a man in motion to the far side. He resets on the wing, and now a handoff inside, and it's going to be Canfield getting his first carry of the night and a gain of around 3. Canfield, the number 6 rusher in Indiana, they're going to give him 4 on the carry, and it'll be 2nd down and 6 yards to go with the ball sitting at the New Pal 18-yard line. 2 men wide here near side, 1 wide far side with a single setback for Neely, who keeps it, sweeps it around the right corner. He's hit by Pease, but not until he gets to the 1st down yardage, and I think a flag went flying in there late. It might have been a face mask on top of it. Gain of around 7 yards. We'll wait on the signal from the officials. Pease got him, but Pease might have gotten some face mask along with it. The officials confer, and the flag sitting near the tackle. It's a personal foul against Delta, face mask. I had it right. I'll take it. So it's a gain of 7 and a 1st down on the carry by Neely. And the penalty will add to it. And it's the first down of the night by penalty. And New Pal will have 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line. Defensively for Delta, we'll set them for you after this play. On 1st and 10, Dragons driving right to left at their 41. Play action pass here on the near side. It's caught and then taken down right away is Maxon Hook after a gain of 7 yards. Neely hits on his first throw of the night, and Hook has it to make it 2nd and 3. Dragons run a hurry-up offense. They'll snap it